Hello everyone, and let's take a look at some more Steam sale games. This time we're taking a look at 5 games you can buy for under £1 in the Steam sale. I had a little look through the Steam sale and there's so many great games for under £1. I mean, that's ridiculous. You can buy all 5 games on this list. If you gave £5 over, you'd get change. This list also features US pricing this time, as the US Steam store is now working. We're not getting a blank screen and error messages whenever we try to load up the US Steam store. So we do have US pricing as well. With the last video, the US pricing was inaccurate because I just converted it from the UK pricing. Obviously, Steam prices vary from sort of location to location. They vary in different markets, I guess, depending on tax laws, I'm guessing, about that. So that's why they were inaccurate, because I just converted them because the Steam store would not load. But anyway, we will move on to this list, and at number 5 we have gone for Portal, the first Portal game, which is 69p or 99 cents in the land of Trump. You can find it for that. Under £1 for the first Portal game is really good. You can get it as part of the orange box as well, where you can get Half-Life 2 and all its add-ons, all its expansions, and Team Fortress 2, which is free anyway, so you can get that for free. But for 69p, not too bad, worth checking out. I don't own the original Portal on PC. I do own Portal 2. I own most of the Half-Life, but weirdly enough, never owned Portal 1, so to get it for 69p, I decided to pick it up, and I guess I will be checking it out. I remember I have played through it. I played through it on Xbox 360, so I have played it before. It's not as if I've never played it, but yeah, certainly worth picking up for under £1. Really, you're not going to go wrong for that. At number 4, we have gone for Deus Ex, the original Deus Ex, at 99p or $1.39. It's available for one of the best games ever made. It was, if you're curious to know where the Deus Ex series started, it was released in 2000. It was a kind of open-ended RPG shooter hybrid. The shooting was never the best in it, but the RPG elements and the sheer sort of freedom of choice that you had to complete objectives, to build your character, you had so much freedom in Deus Ex. Again, for £1, it's amazingly good value. For under £1, it's an amazing, one of the best games, one of my favourite games of all time. It's available for under £1. It's kind of ridiculous. I look at that and go, oh, of course I have it. You can also get Deus Ex Revision, which is a kind of modded version of it, which is a kind of more updated visuals. It does require the original Deus Ex to be installed to get Deus Ex Revision, so you can check that out as well. Again, you'll get that with it as well if you want to install that. Number 3 we have gone for is Psychonauts, which is available for just 69p or 99 cents in the land of Trump. An amazing game, a sort of an action-adventure platformer game from Double Fine. Double Fine have made some amazing adventure games over the years. This was released PC, obviously, and original Xbox. It came out, I think, 2005 it came out. It was a pretty interesting, pretty underrated game, and I would recommend you check it out because, again, that's sort of App Store game money there. I mean, that's just insane. How I mean, if you bought this game on the original Xbox a few years ago, I saw one of them on sale. Someone was asking for £45 for it, and that was just a couple of years ago. And there it is on Steam for under £1. So I think it's ridiculously good value. It was quite a rare game. Quite difficult to find there on the original Xbox. So to get it on PC for that price, pretty damn good. At number 2, we have gone for Quake 2, which is available for 99 pence or $1.24. It's Quake 2. It's one of the best shooters ever made. Buy it. It's Quake 2. I mean, it's hard to really go wrong with Quake 2. Can be a bit of a pain to run on modern systems, but you know, it's an amazing fast-paced shooter. The multiplayer is still active. There are people still playing Quake 2. However, Quake 2 over Quake 1 and Quake 3 because the single player. I think Quake 3 had no single player. Quake 4 was too different. Quake 1, the single player is alright. There's still people playing multiplayer in Quake 2, Quake 1 as well. But Quake 2, I think, has the best single player of all the Quake games. And again, you can still find plenty of people out there still playing the multiplayer. Still very active. There's a lot of mods and things that you can get. You can get graphical enhancement mods and things for Quake 2. So it's still a very active community in that game, and it is one of the best shooters ever made. Released in 1997, it is the oldest game on this list, but still, I think, one of the finest shooters ever made. And speaking of the finest shooters ever made, number one, we have gone for Half-Life 2. 69 pence or 99 cents for Half-Life 2. Now, we said one of the best shooters ever made, Quake 2. Half-Life 2 is arguably the best shooter ever made. You can get Half-Life 1 as well for 69p. However, I wouldn't recommend Half-Life 1. I would say especially if you're sort of never played Half-Life 1 back in the day, get Black Mesa. Black Mesa is a little bit more expensive. It's $5.99 for Black Mesa in the Steam sale. But get that. It's the remade version, or it's a mod of Half-Life 2, but it's a complete remake of Half-Life 1 that is available on Steam as well. But I would go with Black Mesa if you're going to get Half-Life 1. That's why I put Half-Life 2 on the list. Again, released in 2004. One of the finest shooters ever made for 69p. I think that's some part of me is like, oh, I really should be paying more for this, but then you're thinking it's a great deal at that kind of price, under £1. So if you bought all of those games, you would get change out of £5 for all 5 of these games. But yeah, make sure you pick up Half-Life 2 if you haven't already got it. You can get the expansions as well, Episode 1 and Episode 2. 59p each. You can as well get the orange box, which includes Half-Life 2, Episode 1, Episode 2, Portal, and Team Fortress 2 for $2.99. So I would recommend picking that up as well. You get, well, Portal 1's not Portal 2. Did I say Portal? I said Portal 2 in that. So Portal 1. Portal 2 is also worth buying as well. I think that's £2.50 or something like that, or £1.50 I think it is in the Steam sale. Definitely so many games to buy for so cheap, and that's one of the great things about PC gaming is there's just so many cheap games that you can pick up. 69p for Half-Life 2. You want to go slap someone at Valve in the face almost. It's an insultingly good deal, insanely good deal for Half-Life 2. Would recommend, you can get Half-Life 1 as well. Half-Life Source as well, I think is the same price. Half-Life Source or Half-Life 1. Get Half-Life 1 rather than Half-Life Source. Half-Life Source is just Half-Life running in the Source engine. But I would recommend Black Mesa if you're going to pick up Half-Life 1. Black Mesa is the sort of full remake of Half-Life 1, really. It really is the Half-Life HD remake if you think of it as that. But Half-Life 2... excellent. You can get the cinematic mod for Half-Life 2. It is available on Steam as well if you're an owner of Half-Life 2. It does provide various enhancements to the game as well. That's a good thing about all these older PC games, is a lot of them have, you know, very active modding communities. Half-Life 2, again, still active to this day. Same with Quake 2 as well. So you're still going to be able to find people. You get Half-Life 2, I think you get Half-Life 2 Deathmatch with it. You did... when I bought it back in 2004, you got Half-Life 2 Deathmatch and Counter-Strike Source. I don't know if you still get them. I should point out as well, it is worth picking up the Valve bundle if you're into sort of Valve games. I picked it up. For me, it was only like £6 or something like that because I already owned Half-Life 2 and things like that. I never owned Half-Life 1 on Steam, weirdly enough. Never owned it. I did own it back in the day. Of course, Half-Life 1 came out long before Steam came out, so 1998 Half-Life 1 came out. But yeah, I would recommend picking up Black Mesa if you want Half-Life 1. But still, Half-Life 2 is definitely playable these days. Definitely still playable. Still one of the best games ever made. It hasn't aged, seemingly. To me, it's still amazing. Really, I think that the gameplay is incredible. The gravity gun, the physics-based nature of the gameplay, still amazing. It's got one of the best paced campaigns of any FPS game. But anyway, I've went on for long periods of time about Half-Life 2. I could go on all day about Half-Life 2, but that is all for this video. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again soon, and goodbye.